you might say that their scheduling is frozen.
Ooh.
Oh boy, did I nail it! As long as Johnny's gone, I'd like to say, warning. The following is intended for mature audiences. It includes references to the use of illicit substances as well as crude humor. Listener discretion is advised. Condoleezza Rice, you crazy warlocks. I'm Zach Nanimus.
I'm Johnny Dim.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Wizard World Austin Comic Convention booklet. Booklet set. It's a set of 5 books that you can get from Columbia House, all of which describe to you the Great Comic-Con, also known as Wizard World Austin.
For 4 installments of $39.99.
Extremely true. Mm-hmm. No, we went to Wizard World Austin Comic-Con, and okay, in any of its marketing, in any of its anything that you read about it, did you hear or see it call itself a comic book convention?
Not with those exact words.
What did you hear?
It is Wizard World Austin.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, because we went to Wizard World Austin first just to set it up. It's kind of a smaller con, and one of the things that we were thinking about doing was kind of doing maybe a little segment about how there aren't enough comic books at comic book conventions. But this one didn't even call itself a comic book convention, which is appropriate.
It's appropriate. Also, I think it's just it's kind of a sign of the evolution of the way these conventions have gone. They've called themselves comic book conventions, and some still use the words Comic Con, which is short for comic book convention. A lot of
other spoiler alerts. Sometimes somebody may text you the word "wed." They mean Wednesday.
Right. That's more confusing with Saturday because "sat" is actually a word.
That's why I put capital S-A-T period, so that you know it's an abbrev.
The point being, so the evolution of comic book conventions, it started out with San Diego Comic-Con, where it became more about comic book movies, and therefore they started inviting a lot of actors, had panels with different shows, TV shows. They've brought the definition of what could be put into a comic book convention and what would be defined or what would be allowed.
Well, when did all that start? Because you think of comic book conventions as being kind of an older idea, but I don't know exactly when they started doing them.
Well, comic book conventions started like, I mean, I don't know the exact history, but 90s, 80s, something like that.
And at the time,
it could have been earlier.
Comic book movies were a thing, but it's nothing like it is today.
No. So yeah, you get the money involved when comic book movies start actually making money. They become a popular thing. It's a big part of our popular culture. So then they insert themselves in there, and then they start expanding that because other outfits want money too, and other studios are like, well, what about this property? What about this property?
But you also had sci-fi shows that were popular through the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Mm-hmm. And so you have things where they're bringing in, like we had the new Ecto-1.
Right.
The Chevy? It's not a Chevy. It's a
hearse.
It's a Cadillac. It's a Caddy.
Caddy hearse.
Cadillac hearse. And so they bring in lots of different memorabilia and stuff like that. And what you may notice going to modern cons is that there aren't a lot of comic book vendors. But that's not to say that it was not a fun con. And it wasn't disappointing because it didn't call itself a Comic Con. It called itself Wizard World. I didn't see any wizard vendors though. No, but one thing
is that a vendor selling wizards?
No, that's a vendor who is a wizard.
Oh, okay.
And he sells worlds.
Right.
This is my first Austin Con, but lots of gaming.
Video gaming.
Yeah, we did another video about Xenoverse. Check it out. Bandai Namco, in conjunction with Capcom, and Nintendo also had one, and 2 other independent video game developers all had setups there with multiple either computers or consoles for you to play at. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that part, especially since there was a Star Citizen thing going on and the video games were right next to it, so it was easy to ignore. No, Johnny, you actually went to the Star Citizen panel. How'd that go?
It's boring.
Yeah?
Yeah. They didn't talk about anything. It was like I talked to you about this yesterday. So what I said was, it's like, it was just, they had them there to have them there. Like, they are the people that work on Star Citizen are spread across the globe. There are different studios or offices in different parts of the world. There happens to be one in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. So they had them there at the convention.
And what did the guys
That
in
was about
Austin
it.
do? What was their job?
I didn't catch that part. I didn't catch everything they said. Got a little bored, kind of wandered about.
We also got there kind of late because, and this happens at every convention, but there were scheduling issues, especially with the Star Citizen guys.
There was 2 reschedulings.
Of this one thing.
Yeah. Little frustrating. But that's okay. That's okay.
So they have...
Stuff happens.
So they have developmental teams all over the world.
Yeah. I think they had one in Germany and then one somewhere else in the U.S.
So you might say from a developmental standpoint, they're all over the place.
I don't know what that means.
Sloppy.
Oh,
Dumb.
A mess!
It's just, I know I got a lot of hate in a previous video for talking about how much I hate Star Citizen. I like to point out that I did say there are interesting things in that game. There are just things in that game that piss me off.
I'm looking forward to the game, but these personal experiences kind of put a stamp of negativity in my mind.
Oh, you're asking for it. Judging a game based upon the panel World?
I'm not judging the game. Not at all.
Just got a little sour taste in my mouth. Not going to talk about it anymore.
Yep.
Going to buy myself a Nintendo Wii U. One thing that I was really excited to see is that there were lots of great organizations there. We talked with the guys from Saber Guild, the Buda chapter, for a while. They showed us some of their stuff. That was really cool. We have another video on it. So they were doing like cool free demos for the kids. We also we're friends with the 501st member that was there doing like a philanthropic thing, kind of like a Make-A-Wish kind of thing.
The 501st, if you don't know, is a cosplaying outfit that does Star Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm. So like mini cons, there were lots of people there that were just trying to make the world a fun, more enjoyable, and even better place. And I said like many others, but it was nice to see one of the smaller conventions still doing stuff like that. I don't think it was a bad convention. It was just pretty small. Now, you corrected me and you said video gaming. When I said there was gaming, you're like, video gaming? If you can call it gaming.
You can call it gaming. And it is video gaming that was there. It's very prevalent. There was no board gaming. Some of the cons that we're used to having here in Houston often have a board gaming wing, if you will. Oftentimes there's a room just set up where you can just go rent board games and play with your friends. There's also, sometimes they'll have people from Fantasy Flight or any other, other company. Steve Jackson.
The
He's always
Black.
there. Yeah, they're always there. Not he specifically, but their group is always
his
there.
His clones.
Right, his clones. But anyway, I missed that because I think that's a lot of fun. It's usually a good place to kind of relax a little bit when you're walking around the con floor all day.
Yeah, some place to sit.
Yes, there was not a lot of sitting.
Oh, you could sit if you wanted to be in the Star Citizen.
Oh yeah.
And what do they even call those now?
That thing that was going on?
Yes.
I don't know, a demo tournament stage?
Demo tournament stage.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Actually, the times that we did rest,
there was a Street Fighter V tournament going down.
Yeah, it was a real tournament going down with people who often participate in tournaments. It was really cool.
It was very cool. I would like to say this. Just, I think this kind of branches off. I think this kind of speaks to our particular voice in this. I also think we kind of suffer a little bit from con fatigue.
Yes.
And this is something that people have been talking about, especially the last couple of years, because like I was talking about the evolution of cons, because they've widened their scope and because it seems like everybody wants them, they brought them. Like they're everywhere.
Yes.
And we get them almost year round now, which is almost too much. I think people have been talking about maybe there possibly being a bubble bursting on this. I don't know. But I was that's just a thing. I don't know if, I think we're going to reduce the number of the cons we go to. Mm-hmm. So, I think you just got to be picky about which ones you go to.
I could see that, and I would like to see maybe some more specific cons. Of course, there are anime conventions that we never go to because you're a racist. We generally go to similar type of cons. It's usually comic book-esque sci-fi conventions, and I think one of the problems for me in general is that if you're going to purchase something, you've already paid a lot for a ticket, so you're going to purchase one thing. Yeah, and parking.
And food.
And you might be in the hotel.
And lodging.
Yeah, it's at the hotel.
Oh.
And you'll want a Brothers ball cap. If you don't have a lot of money to dedicate to this, sometimes there can be not too much to do, which is why I appreciated the free video gaming at this place.
Yes.
Why I appreciated Saber Guild doing demos where they gave you lightsabers to work with,
Absolutely.
where there were things to do other than buy something or watch a famous person talk at you. And I think that's what I'd like to see in conventions. And Wizard World Austin delivered. I had fun.
Yeah, they had some good stuff. Absolutely. So definitely thumbs up to them for putting on a good show. And that's a good company that does a lot of cons throughout the U.S. at least.
Wizard World Antarctica, not particularly popular.
No.
You might say that their scheduling is frozen.
Ooh.
Oh boy, did I nail it!
Bam!
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.